That's what I'll do.
A quiz, or a kids quiz game, like the trivia thing.
Keep me off
It's sort of fun.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Can everybody online hear me? Is anybody there?
I say the
online?
answer is no.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Just making sure. Okay. Well, welcome to today's meeting. If everyone could please stand so we can do the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of the United States of
America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
nation,
under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Seated.
Be sure that chair doesn't run away from you.
Yeah.
A little off.
All right, and our,
One.
where we decided that we were going to add this to our agenda, so I'm grateful to be living and working on Tlingit. And I don't see any visiting Rotarians, but it looks like we may have a guest of a Rotarian. So, Vince, could you introduce your guest?
This is my wife Nicole, repeating from last week.
Very much. I don't see anybody online who's saying that they have a guest, so we'll move on. Does anybody have any announcements? Any Rotary announcements?
This is from Dan. A reminder about the Goddard Workday, which is Sunday the 21st. 8:15 is the time to be down at Crescent Harbor. That's when loading takes place, and the boat will leave faithfully at 8:30 in the morning, coming back at 4:30. We're creating an online sign up for you to indicate that you would like to go. When you do the sign up, Dan will be sending it out via email this afternoon. Indicate the size of your party. So if you're bringing a spouse or a friend, you would put 2 down. That's the number, because we have about 30 spots for Rotarians. He says that he's looking for someone to be the caterer of the event, the person who orders and manages food and hydration for the day. The club pays. It's just a matter of somebody who will take that job on. And I'm looking at all of you there. So let Dan or me know today. Let me know today. Let Dan know if you're willing to be the caterer. I think it'd be pretty easy, just some Subway packets and maybe some bagels from Greg. And then that email will come out. If you're not into the newfangled signups, just let me know before you leave today, and I'll put you down on paper, and then I'll put you into the online thing. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions about that? That's May 21st. John?
What about the toolkit? Are they asking for tools as well? Do we have to bring a shovel?
He has not spoken to me about tools.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Sarah, did you have a question? Or an announcement?
No, I have an announcement.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't see Norm there.
No.
But I wanted to let Rotarians know that the Sitka AmeriCorps program will be beautifying the Path of Hope on Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And I guess if you want to help out, would you just contact me so I can get a sense of how many people I might have and who can do what jobs? You can email me or text me or call me or whatever you want to do. We'll probably start at like 8:30 or 9, and we will just go until all of the appropriate maintenance has been done. We usually rake up the leaves and rake up branches off of the beds and maybe put some mulch down, trim some of the pathways, clean the aluminum, and that's about it. But anyway, since Norm brought it up, and there was maybe interest in additional people helping, I wanted to just set a day, so it will be Friday, May 5th. Questions?
John?
Yes, John.
What's the project again?
We're beautifying the path of hope.
Oh, the Path of Hope, got it, okay.
Okay, thanks. Does anyone else have any Rotary announcements? I'm gonna, I'll fill in a little bit for John. So regarding ducks, this morning he emailed me and stated that at this point we have 1,227 tickets left to sell. So he would like me to remind everybody that he really appreciates you guys helping out and selling, and if you have tickets, please sell them and get them back to him. He should be here next week, so you can hold on to him till then, or you can contact him before then. And you know how he is. He will rush to wherever you are and pick them up if you have them ready. Or if you have them and you know you're not going to sell them and you need to get them back to him, same thing. Get a hold of him and he will come in and get them. He's busy today because apparently he has friends who are on the very first cruise ship. He's taking them around town. So, do we have anything else that we need to remind everybody of? So we did the Goddard thing. And just this is a little bit more in the future, but the kids fishing day is going to be June 10th. Normal hours are, and there will be a sign up at some point going around for people to help set up. Now we have those really nice tents that we just kind of pop up. It's much nicer than what we used to have to do, that luckily Dan knew how to build a whole container thing for us. But now we kind of pop those up and make sure that they're sturdy. And but I will have a sign up for people to help out for setup and takedown, and if anyone wants to help out during the event. If anyone has any ideas, we gave away all the prizes last year, as far as I'm aware. They were very enthusiastic, our helpers with Fish and Game and the Forest Service, making the kids happy, so I'm going to be getting new ones this year. If anyone has ideas of things, I have some ideas already of what we like to do. But if anyone has any ideas, they can let me know of things they think would be good prizes. I try to stick to outdoorsy type things, games that they can play outside or things like that, versus indoor things, or things that maybe they can do both indoors and outdoors, but things that will keep children occupied, not just staring at a screen. So that's that. We'll have more coming about that. And with that, no more announcements or anything, or question? John?
Is there a bike rodeo thing this year?
I don't know if there's going to be a bike rodeo thing this year or not. We have not had anyone come to us to say they wanted to head that up. So I'll see if I'll email the board and see what their thoughts are on doing that. If somebody is interested in starting that up, I can email out the whole membership as well and see if there is somebody who wants to do that. We can see if we can get that put together. If not, that might be something we just look to add to next year's calendar with a little bit more, so we can have more planning. But for now, I don't know.
Okay, good.
All right, so now we'll have Carrie Sago come up and she will introduce our speaker for today.
Our speaker today is Barbara Quinn from Youth Advocates. Up till this point, I had one of those sort of COVID sort of relationships with Barbara. We've emailed each other. We've probably spoken on the phone. I don't know if we've been in Zooms together, but today is the first day that I met her in person. She has a degree in psychology and human services with experience in youth development, residential care, and school-based support. She moved to Sitka in 2014 specifically to work for Youth Advocates of Sitka. She manages the community mental health program, meaning that she oversees the Cloud Teen Center. She supervises in-school support staff, and she provides supported employment services. And with that, I will turn it over to Barbara Quinn.
All right,
Thank you.
Who's in that building? Say the building in the corner of Jeff Davis.
Alright. Can everybody see that? Can the people online see it too? I don't know how to get it. Is that okay? Can everybody read that? Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Barbara. I work for Youth Advocates of Sitka. This is actually the second time I've worked for Youth Advocates of Sitka. I was there in 2014 to 2018, and then I came back in late 2021 because I realized that my heart was just in supporting the youth here in Sitka. Youth Advocates has been around since 1975, providing services here in Sitka. Louder, you got it, no problem. Our mission is to support the youth of Alaska and their families. Oop, what's up?
Oh, we aren't able to see it on Zoom. Sorry.
It didn't share. Okay.
Click on there.
There we go. How's that?
Wonderful.
All right.
Thanks.
Awesome, thank you so much. Okay. That's fine. So our mission is to support the youth of Alaska and their families. Our vision is to empower them to grow into happy, healthy members of our community. We provide lots of services here in Sitka. In 1975, we started with the Sitka Youth Home, or the Sitka Youth Receiving Home, that has since evolved into the program that we now call Hanson House, and have grown to provide a lot of those other services that Carrie said that I oversee. Our in-school support, our outpatient therapy, both individual and family therapy, as well as group therapy. We have employment support, and I'm going to focus mostly today on the teen center called The Cloud. The Cloud Teen Center was a part of the Sitka Health Summit in 2018. The story that I am told is that a group of youth went to the Health Summit to say, hey, we need a space that is safe, that is free, that we can just be kids without getting into too much trouble. YES took on being essentially the adults involved in the planning and preparing of this program. We also secured a grant that supported youth that were homeless or at risk of being homeless to help kind of get some of those initial costs off the ground as far as renting a space, providing furniture for kids to sit on and not just putting them on the floor. We officially opened our doors in 2019. Every August we have a birthday party to celebrate that the Cloud is still going strong. We have expanded our services to support all teens 13 to 18. So on your 13th birthday, you are welcome, and you can stay until the night before your 19th birthday. We have really focused on creating a youth-driven space. So that means that the kids have a huge hand in deciding what goes on, deciding what happens, the activities that we do, the snacks that we have, things that just happen in the Cloud. It's all on them. Within a little bit of reason, we have adults that are there and staff that kind of supervise to make sure that they're not hurting themselves, they're not hurting others, that they're following our 5 basic rules, which are to be safe, to be sober, to use respectful language, to respect others, and to respect the Cloud as a whole. So within those 5 basic rules, we kind of let them do what they want. We provide a space for homework, for video games. One of our big things is the Switch that Search actually donated a year ago. So they come in and we play a lot of Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. There's a farming game that they love to play together. It's currently hooked up to our projector, so it's on the big screen, which means they're not stuck looking at a tiny little TV. It basically takes up the wall. But we also have what I call the art library, and I'll go over that a little bit more, but basically every arts and crafts supply you could possibly want, we probably have it. Our hours right now are weekdays 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then in the summer we will expand those hours to give kids more of a resource during the day. So we'll be open from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of our current more structured activities that we have, we do a movie night every Friday starting at 6. The kids have the opportunity to come pick the movie. So they get to chat and sit and scroll through all of the streaming services and make that decision on what we watch. We get the popcorn machine going. We get usually special juice or sodas to go with it. And that is just one of our long-standing programs that we have offered essentially since day one. It's just movie night, everybody comes and hangs out. We do stick to like the lower end of like PG-13 or G-rated movies just to make sure that we're not scaring anybody and then they go home to mom and dad and parents have to deal with all of that. So we do try to be mindful with the rating of the movies that we watch. One of our more recent brand new activities that we just started is the Teen Intro to Dungeons and Dragons. Hosted by Riley Whitson. He comes in once a month and just does an introduction to one of the most popular games that's out there. It's a passion of his because he grew up here in Sitka, and that's something that he's been doing his whole life, and he really wanted to bring that to the next generation of kids. So we do that once a month on the third Thursday starting at 5. We just had our first one last month, so it is very, very, very new. We also offer our Pizza Pride once a month, typically on the last Friday of the month. That's also one of our long-standing programs that we've had. It is a time for youth who are LGBTQ+ and their allies to come and just create a community for them to, feel safe, feel heard, feel supported, and to hang out and eat pizza. We have a pool table and a ping pong table that is open daily for kids to play with. We very recently had the pool table resurfaced. Thank you to the generosity of the Greater Sitka Pool League, as well as some guys down at the Moose Lodge came and helped us do that. The ping pong table is also brand new. It was donated last week by the staff at the Mean Queen, so it's one of our new hot ticket items because it just came in the door. We also have what I call the Arts and Crafts Library. I worked really hard with Ravens Hook last summer to place a huge bulk order on pretty much anything you can think of, from markers to clay to beading materials, but also basic school supplies. So we have notebooks and binders and pencils and pens and highlighters and things that kids can take with them if they need more school supplies and it's something that's not available to them. We also have what I call the Care Corner. So we accept gently used clothing and unused hygiene items that kids can just take, no questions asked, whether it's a case of they don't have access to that at home, they're potentially homeless, or they're trying to live independently. They can grab any of the clothes, they can take any of the hygiene items whenever they want for whatever reason. We're just here to support them. And we always have snacks. We go grocery shopping at least once a week and walk out of C-Mart with just carts and carts of snacks to keep the kids coming back. And we also provide food to give. A kid is like, hey, can I take some food home? We let them do that because we never know what the situation at home is, and we want them to feel supported and so that they know that they have a place to have at least something to eat. So a couple different ways to support the Cloud. We are always accepting donations to our Care Corner. So like I said, that's gently used clothing for both male and female youth. We'll also take new or unused of the travel-sized items of hygiene items, so toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, lotion. We do ask that if mouthwash is donated, that it's the non-alcoholic brand so that we can continue to support youth that are potentially struggling with sobriety. I'm also always on the hunt for donations for snacks. Teens eat a lot. They eat a lot of food, and we go through snacks very quickly. They eat a ton of Hot Pockets and the instant ramen noodles. We also go through a lot of juice and fruit gummies and chips as well. Another way to help support us is to potentially sponsor a Pizza Pride night. Supporting the cost of a pizza night really helps us create like a sustainable program because sometimes we do have to finagle the money around a little bit. We've had some support from Carrie, also City Counseling partners with us on the Pizza Pride event, so they also help support the cost of that amount because our pizza cost is anywhere between $150 to $200 a month, depending on how many youth show up. So that is always always welcome to have that support. I do have a few, I don't know how much time we have. I do have a few other just quick things that I could share if you guys are interested in hearing more about YS a little bit more. This summer, for the first time ever, we are providing a summer work program. So that is very specifically a supported program for youth who are between the ages of 14 and 21. They do have to currently be enrolled in high school, or I believe it's their first year of college courses. This program will focus on like an introduction to the workforce and like their first opportunity working a job. And it also has an educational component. So there will be about 15 hours of instruction for things like building your resume, building interview skills, as well as how to communicate appropriately, how to be a team player, things like that to set them up for success in their employment. They will be in a business or with an employer here in Sitka. So we're gonna really rely on our community to help support this program. However, YAS will be the one that will pay them. So we'll be responsible for their salaries, for any payroll taxes, etc., all of that. And the training and education days are also paid. The employer will then have the opportunity to hire the youth at the end of the summer should they decide that it's a good fit and they want to keep the kid on, keep the young person on. I'm realizing I didn't put dates. This will run June and July, so it'll run most of the summer. They will be working part-time because they'll have that educational piece that they'll be required to participate in as well. Some of our other programs, I did mention our in-school support. So YS started providing in-school support in 2010. We essentially have staff in the schools that are there to support our clients have a successful day. It's a little bit like being a paraprofessional in the school district, but we focus more on their mental and emotional health that they need throughout the day. And just so that they can be in school, they can feel successful, they can feel supported, and have a normal experience. We work very closely with the counselors, with the teachers, with the administrators to help these youth, just feel supported and be able to focus on school. We also have a few residential care programs right now. I did mention Hanson House earlier, which was just kind of the foundational piece of Youth Advocates of Sitka. It's for youth ages 13 to 17, and it's a mental and behavioral health program that supports youth in a very home-like environment. So they experience doing chores, they eat meals together, they get up and go to school. They're responsible for that teenage experience, but the staff there help them through whether they're dealing with trauma or, family issues or substance abuse. But it gives them the opportunity to experience a typical youth life. Our new and upcoming program is called Coastal Haven. We secured a grant from Senator Murkowski's office to support this program. It's for youth ages 16 to 21. And these youth will be either homeless, at risk of homelessness, trafficking victims, or have otherwise been exploited for a multitude of reasons. We are in the very beginning stages of this program, so we are currently trying to secure a home that can turn into the facility for this program. I was asked by our executive director to shamelessly plug for some support. We are currently working on getting the permitting for the house for Coastal Haven because it does need to be rezoned. We are planning to appeal the Planning Commission's denial earlier this month directly to the City Assembly. So what our executive director has asked that I communicate is that if you can attend the May 9th meeting to speak directly to the city or the community, or submit written statements about this program directly to the municipal clerk, Sarah Peterson, by May 3rd. Okay, that's my plug. That is pretty much everything I have right now. Do you have any thoughts or questions, or is there anything else you feel like I could provide more information on?
I'd like to have your phone number in case I did have questions. after I talk this over.
Yeah, I'm happy to leave my contact information for anybody who might need it. Is it easier if I write it down for you?
Nothing on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me find a pen. I've got a pen.
Well, I thought you might have a card or something.
Oh gosh. That's a really good idea. I didn't even think about grabbing business cards. Next time, yeah, I will happily give you my contact information. Yes.
So,
Oh, is there a question from online?
oh, go ahead with whoever was gonna talk, I think, go next.
How many teens take advantage of the Cloud Center?
Oh, so last quarter, so January, February, March, we served 90 youth. So 90 individual kids over the course of the last 3 months access the teen center on a regular basis. Yeah.
I'll just raise a point that happened. My kids are long since past teenage, but when we were here, when they were teenagers, we had the Sitka Teen Center.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem they had was they turned 19 and they're kicked out of the teen center. They can't go and shoot pool or play darts at the pub until they're 21. There's 2 lost years. Any thoughts about what we could do for 19 and 20-year-olds to give them the type of social place that they can go, that they'd be safe?
Yeah. You know, that's a topic that we at YAS and specifically at the Cloud have brought up a few times. Is filling that gap of those like young adult years where you're not totally a youth adolescent anymore, but you haven't gotten to that point where there's resources available. I don't have an answer for you, but I will say that it's something that we are thinking about and like actively trying to problem solve. Something that we run into is that there is a pretty dramatic difference in the kids that are like 13, 14 years old and the kids that are 17, 18, 19, even into their 20s. And so we think about that on the daily basis, but yeah, finding that sweet spot of how do we fill in that young adult gap, I think is a very valid point. Oh, gosh, yes.
So your in-school group program, your in-school program, is that individual counseling, or are there group settings where kids come together and as a group work through problems?
We do have, currently we have a group for the Baranoff and Keat aged youth. Our residential programs participate in group therapy every day as part of their program. We occasionally offer a group setting at the teen center for, like during COVID we did like online, excuse me, we did like an online like grief group, grieving your freedom that has been taken away, not seeing your friends, potentially losses that people suffered during COVID. So for the older, middle school and older, it is kind of sporadic the group therapy that we provide, but we do offer it here and there. Yeah. Yes.
Do you anticipate moving to a bigger space? Question 1 and question 2. Besides Sitka Counseling and the school district, who are your partners with the Cloud especially?
Oh yeah. I don't anticipate moving to a bigger space at this point in time. In my experience, we have the space that we need right now. We're located immediately next to Yellow Jersey downtown. So we're across the street from Centennial next to Yellow Jersey in the Trout Center building. And other than potentially renovating to put in a full kitchen, we have everything we need. But that's a huge project that I haven't even begun to think about yet. We partner with the school district on a lot of stuff. We also partner with Sitka Counseling on a lot of stuff. We've had Amanda Roberts from Search do a few things for us. She does the tobacco and vaping cessation program over there. She's provided us with some materials before. Last summer we did a lot of partnerships with the Science Center to get some of the youth that might not have the monetary resources to get enrolled in some of their camps to help some of those kids access some of the Science Center camps. I'm currently talking to 4-H about also potentially providing some either classes or camps. Most of their like already scheduled camps are full, but they've offered to potentially come do something separate at the Cloud, or take them out into the community and do some of their like pre-designed 4-H programs. So this summer I'm really focusing on hoping to get the kids kind of out and involved in this wonderful environment that we have. Yes?
Are there special challenges that you see here in Sitka, or that you do Sitka? My wife and I are fairly new to the community, and we're pretty impressed by what we see. I'm just wondering, how would you compare Sitka to other places that you've been?
That's a very interesting question.
Spoken as a grandparent of a granddaughter.
Yeah, I think one of the really positive things that is great about Sitka is how accessible a lot of things are. We are right downtown. We did that on purpose so that a lot of kids have access either immediately after school. Most of the schools are within walking distance, so a lot of kids just walk over after school to hang out. And I think something that is a little bit of a struggle is that amount of freedom that the kids here in Sitka have. Some of them do really well being free and independent, and some of them take it a little bit too far. And so usually the youth that we see that struggle the most are the ones that can kind of do whatever they want, and may or may not have that support from their family or close adult friends. Those tend to be the youth that need the most help. Yeah, but other than that, Sitka has so many resources for youth. We do spend a lot of time. I've got a whole board at the Cloud that's labeled "What are my resources?" and it's got all of kinds of information for kids about how to access the bus system, how to, call and make an appointment if you don't have an adult who can help you. Like, we'll help you make an appointment if you need to. Where to call when. Like a list of taxis. I know that's a big struggle in Sitka right now, but we do a lot of like giving them those skills if they don't have them, which is that's the fun part of my job is it's teaching kids how to live independently.
Can we get Rachel's question?
Sure.
Hi, thank you. I'm Rachel and I'm from the Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things that we're working on right now is workforce development and supporting those initiatives. So it's really exciting to see that you're doing that program. When I worked at the tribe, always used the Cricket and Haida youth employment. And so it's really fun to see those people out like in the community that we mentored back in the day. So that being said, like we would probably love to have one, and then also I think we can help share that message for employers that are looking. I mean, we're all looking for staff kind of across the board, but as you share that information with us, you can help to get the word out, to get placement for those students that you got in your summer program.
That sounds fantastic. I would love that because right now it's been me calling people around town saying, hey, I got a teenager, would you be interested in that? So yeah, resources on employers who would be interested in it.
Yeah, we send out a weekly newsletter every week. So, if you get it to us this week, we can include it in next week's newsletter.
Awesome, fantastic, thank you so much, I appreciate that.
So, related, the tribal collection or connection, or the cultural, I mean, do you coordinate with STA and those groups to help those kids?
On occasion, we had a lot more of a connection with the tribe prior to their program opening, so they now have their own like tribal-oriented drop-in center. I don't remember which building it's in, but I believe it opened last year.
It's the grandchildren's room in Siginaka.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so they now have like a very similar program specifically for the tribally enrolled youth. So we did have a lot more of a connection with them previously. And we do reach out some, to help kids like if they need, if they're interested in some of the native food collection or just getting some like more like culturally relevant support, we do reach out to them pretty often to connect youth with some of those resources.
So, and then on the cloud, as the kids age out of that, are they in a position to mentor the younger kids coming in? And does that work?
Very recently started speaking about a peer mentorship program a few months ago, because we found a grant that would help pay the peer mentor, like very specifically help pay the peer mentors to do some of that work. So we are looking into getting a peer mentorship program up and running. I don't have an estimated time for that, but it's like very, very early days, but it is something that we are looking into, yes. Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing.
You were going to give us all your phone number?
Yes. So my direct line over at YS is 907-747-2891. And my email address is Barbara, BARBARA, .Quinn, QUINN, @sitkayouth.org. Yeah. Let's see.
Thank you. Okay, next week, our speaker for May 2nd is House Backman with Sitka Historical Society. As far as I know, that's what it says on the website, so
Okay.
that should be what it is. If it's not, we'll change it and let you know.
Sounds good to me. I talked to Cal today, so.
Okay, that's what it says on the website, so. And if anyone is looking for who our speakers are in the future, we do have a website. You can actually just Google Sitka Rotary Club and it'll come up, but it's sitkarotary.org. And it shows who our speakers are. As soon as we have our speakers known for the months in advance, they're on the website. All of our upcoming events, I've been adding those to the website as we know what they are. So if anyone's wondering if you forgot the date of the Goddard excursion and you know you want to go, you can look on our website and it will tell you the date and the times. And you can also use our website to contact other members of the club in case you haven't been on there. And if anyone can't access the website, you can let me know and I can make sure that you have your password.
Is there a password or does
There is a password. So, well, you can get to the website without a password to see who our speakers are. You can see the homepage. You can see what our events are. You can see who the speakers are. You can access the board. You can email them that way. But if you want to do more and you do not have your password, because there is a member area that you can go and see what's available in there, you can let me know if you don't know what the password is, and I can get I can reset your password for you, and then you can get onto the site.
I didn't remember my password today, and I just went and if you put in your email that you have with Club Runner, it will email you your login and let you change your password. It was really easy.
Great, so you can also do that as well, which is probably even easier. So I'm not sure that was always an option because before we couldn't figure that out, but since you did that, that's great. So good to know. So if you don't know what your password is, just let them know and they will email you the password. Same thing with the RI site, if anyone is not aware of that we should all have access to the RI site, the Rotary International site, and it's your email that's on Club Runner is what they use, and they will email you a password or a link so you can reset your password if you do not have it. Okay.
All right.
So I think that is it, unless anyone has anything else to add. Nope. Okay, well, hope to see you guys next week.
That was a killer day
Yeah, well,
compared to the
she's
fall
afraid.
quarter day.
She's afraid of them.
I did